got lucky on that one. Well, it's been quite a few hours, and our solution is pretty much, I believe, dissolved all of the gold foils that were in there. I haven't seen any floating up recently, so I'm turning the heat down. I turned it down to medium heat now. I just turned it off, so I've been letting it cool down. I have a new filter set up in another Buckner funnel here. Once this comes to room temperature, I'm going to filter it out. I was just going to sit here and watch it, but as I'm watching it, you can see things starting to bubble up, and that was as it's cooling down. And then at the very bottom of the beaker, you can see some sediment forming, which I believe is, well, it's either the pulp from the filters, or it's some sort of silver chloride, I'd imagine. The solution looks nice and yellow, with a lot of black iron residue left in there. Something's sinking down. I can't tell if it's the iron or I don't know. If new precipitants are forming, I'm not quite sure. I'll be happy to filter it out. Well, I'm not even sure what our yield's going to be here, if there's going to be much of any. Some of the gold's going to get trapped in that, in those silver molecules there, in the silver chlorides. Some's going to be in solution, but why don't we test real quick? Let's do a quick test for gold in solution and make sure that we even have some. Temperature change or the distilled water, it's either forming a new precipitant or it just pushed, I think it just pushed the stuff down to the clean spot. Stir it up a little bit here. Definitely yellow, probably mostly rust of sorts. At this point I honestly couldn't say it. Let's get us a sample. Oh, it's windy out there today. Yellow, but it's a weird color. It's not gold yellow. Oh, not much. Not much of a reaction. Not much of a reaction at all. I did expect a little darker sample than that. Might not even end up with a quarter gram. I will be happy to pour this off. Alright, I'll let that cool for an hour or two and we'll come back and pour it off. Our solution is cooled down. We're ready to filter it here. Just gonna maneuver a few things. I have a fresh Buckner funnel set up here. take a look at this, you see we definitely had some sediment settle. Now, darn, I take it out of the light, it's harder to see. But it's a good layer down here. And I'm not certain if that is some sort of silver chloride or if it's the pulp from all the filters that we had running through there, but we'll find out at the end. I'm gonna turn the vacuum on and start putting this through. I still have to rinse this out, but transfer this over for a minute here. I'm gonna empty out this vessel here. Stuff did not turn out. Quite the way I was hoping. I think we could filter it again, but I don't believe the results will be much different. Of course, that made precipitate come out. Or just a reaction, I don't know. I do know that this needs to be fully rinsed. Attach the vacuum again. I'm going to let that pull through a couple times, and I'll pour that rinse water off. Alright, well, here we have it. I'm gonna take a closer look here. Iron mixed with paper pulp. Maybe some silver chlorides, little jewels and such. Various stones. I'm gonna let this dry out and I'll just kind of fish through it a little bit. But if there was anything worth saving, I would have removed it ahead of time. So, sorry, that wasn't really in focus, was it? Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, here's what we got. Various stones and clasps and springs and pulp and just a bunch of junk. I'm going to set this aside here to collect a couple drips. It's pretty watered down. We also have what we pulled off here. had something be so yellow and so black at the same time. Yikes. Well, I think we're at a point now where it's just let's drop some SMB in here and see if we can get some gold to precipitate out. I don't know how much free nitric is in there. Man, I think there's going to be a little excess. I didn't go overboard, but I might have for that small amount of material. I just wasn't sure if I had to drop the iron in solution, if it was just going to be the gold and silver and copper from those foils. And let's see what happens. It's not a pretty look. Matter of fact, I've never seen it look that color. Turn that brown like that. That's weird. It's definitely some nitric acid left in there. Still not getting the look that I'd like to see. Just gonna drop the iron out too now. We shall see. I might do a little research on this project after this video's done. But if any of you guys are watching, if you got some ideas of what's going on, fill them in the comments for me. I'm gonna have to. There's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna have to turn the fan up. That foam over there, that's what I was looking for. Just it drops different. Still got that funky brown color though. Boy, it still has such a yellow color. This is definitely not a normal batch of gold. I don't know if I still have to add more SMB. Gosh, I hope not. I don't want to spend more chemicals on this than necessary. We'll do a stannous chloride test and see if we can get any signs of gold being still in solution. From the color of that dripping out, I would say it is. However, if I bend down and look level with this, I'm starting to see a line right here of very clear fluid, which is an indicator of, on a normal batch, that the gold has dropped out of solution. So let me get some filter paper here, or test strip. Now we're gonna have to look close, because when we did this before, it was hard to even see a sign of gold. Let's take another look here now. any signs of gold there. So I'm going to take that as a negative result. Assume that the gold is dropped out of solution. Looks like a lot of stuff is dropped out of solution. I'm a little worried I just dropped all that iron right back out. Oh man. Well, I'm going to get a filter set up and I want to start running this off. Right back. Alright, we can get right to business. I just put a fresh filter in this funnel here. And I'm just going to start pouring this off. I'm interested to see what we have here. I can't imagine all the particles that I'm seeing are gold. I just don't, there just wasn't that much in there. So let's just see what we come out with. I don't think I'm going to be all that pleased. But still a fun experiment. I'm going to let this go for a while. When I get it down to the end or if anything exciting pops up, I'll tune back in. Alright, well, here we're to the point where I would normally say, well, here comes our gold. But can't see it. I would be real surprised. This looks like a lot more than it really is, no matter what it is. But I'd be real surprised if all that and what we see in the filter is gold. I don't think that we had. I can't remember exactly what went into that batch, but I do know there was some gold-plated jewelry. I don't think there was any gold-filled. I don't remember throwing any batches of carrot scrap in there. So, but I'm not 100% sure what else dropped out of solution. If that could possibly still be some iron. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to let this filter through. I'll finish with this bit that's left in the beaker. We'll rinse it out good, throw it right back in the beaker, and look what I'm doing here. Jumping the gun, that's what I was doing. First thing I was going to do was switch this around. This is right to the top. I'm glad I noticed. Alright. Just gonna set this back down here. Gold can precipitate out of solution in almost like a light brown, coppery color. It can also precipitate out of solution in a finer, darker, almost black color, which we're pretty much seeing here. So this is possibly gold, but I don't know how pure it is. I mean, there's gold in here. We did get some positive result. I just can't believe that there was this much gold in there, and yet when we did a stannous chloride test, we barely got results. So I'm not going to hold my breath. I think I'd like to dissolve this batch one more time in aqua regia and see what we get out of it. You notice the dark color of our solution. So we definitely separated this material from that. That is so dark green. I can't imagine that there was that much copper in solution that would do that. iron. I know platinum group metals can get that yellowy green. That's so dark though. Um, I'm looking forward to, when I'm done with this, doing some research in reverse and figuring out what happened. And like I said before, if anybody else knows what these reactions are, I'm out of my comfort zone. I have certain parameters that I usually fall in, and it's pretty routine. When I start mixing stuff up without doing any research first, I'm definitely out of my element. So here we get a little bit more. We can top this off here. Yeah, we're down to it now. Sure doesn't look like typical gold. I'd be super surprised if that all turns out to be gold. I mean, like, blown away surprised. So I really didn't think we'd hit a full gram out of there. Pretty much top this off here. We'll let that drain out and see what we get. I had to turn the fan up a bit. Down the filter like gold. I will be amazed if we get over a gram of gold out of this batch. Well, I can't say that I have seen gold this color. It certainly looks like a lot more than it really is. This could be near pure gold. I mean, if we look at the solution that we filtered off, try to talk. Sorry. If we look at the solutions that we filtered off, we definitely pulled out a lot of junky material away from our gold, if indeed this is all that this is gold. We're going to make sure, we're going to refine it again in Aqua Regia. I'm just going to see about dumping this right in here. Alright. I'll just set this right here out of the way for now. I'm going to turn the heat on, medium low. Get some hydrochloric acid ready here. We don't have to go bonkers. No, I switched it down to a smaller beaker. We don't have to have a huge volume of solution here. It isn't a lot of gold. There should be plenty. if this precipitant is near 3/9 fine gold, our reaction here should be pretty predictable. I'm going to add some concentrated nitric acid to our hydrochloric acid. Sorry, I'm thinking about something else. And we should see an immediate reaction. You know, it's not hot yet, so it'll take a little bit to warm up, but within 30 seconds, if this is precipitated powdered gold, we should see a reaction pretty quick, and it should be a nice clean yellow, not crappy brownish, blackish, greenish solutions like we had. So let's just put some drops in here. I got 2 mils loaded in here. I'm just going to start with that. Let's just see what happens. I'm not going to even stir it around. Fear at this point would be like if we still have some sort of iron trapped and like colloidal gold trapped into something, you know, but I can see the color starting to tint, and then I look at the camera screen and it's bright as can be, so let's see if it gets more obvious.